Welcome to the morning show here on Stock Market TV. Spencer and JC and Strazza will be here. Busy day on the show. A lot to get to, not a lot of time to mess around. Here's the deal. We'll, of course, have JC and Strazza do their thing. We will have Alfonso stop by in 10 or so minutes to give us his perspective of what happened in Venezuela as a native Venezuelan. We'll have Todd Sohn stop by. We will have Kenny Glick will stop by as long as he's feeling better, and then Phil Perlman will stop by at the end. So we have a lot to get to, not a lot of time to get to it. JC, you ready? Strazza, you ready?
You know it. You know it. I got my Monty's hat on. Shout out to the 305. Shout out
to 305. Let's do this.
All right, we back. What up, Mr. Strazza?
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. Just like that.
Morning.
Good morning.
How we doing?
Good morning. You know what they tell me? They tell me, JC, the problem with technical analysis is that it only looks at the past. That's what they tell me. Can you believe?
Yeah.
Can you believe these people? These are grown adults. Adults.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with that?
Is there anywhere that they have that you could download information from the future, like price data from the future? Like
I think I remember many years ago reading a quote from Jim Cramer that said technical analysis is like looking at the fingerprints at a crime scene, which is actually not the worst analogy in the world. And I think it was meant in like a pedantic way or like a condescending way, but it's not. It's actually not that condescending. It's actually
you're following the footsteps.
Right.
Yeah. Like you're out in the snow, you're out in the woods, and you know, I don't know the difference between these paws, but like some people can tell me like, oh, that was a fox, oh, that's a rabbit, oh, that's a duck or whatever. You know, I can't do that, but like some people can.
Yeah.
You want to follow where that rabbit is, you follow those footsteps, right? Am I wrong?
Listen to this woodsman.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I watch videos of like guys that like stay overnight and like build a campfire without even using like a lighter or match. They just
the outdoor boys, I've seen them.
Yeah, the outdoor boys. That's it. I was watching that the other day.
Yeah, I've seen outdoor boys.
I'm like, well, what happens? You could die out there. Like, that's probably not okay.
Yeah.
I hope everyone enjoyed their energy stock fade yesterday.
So they did not fade. By the way, not only did the U.S. ones not fade, all the international ones came back.
Wow.
You see the sticks in like Petrobras, Shell, British Petroleum. Like, look around at those sticks. They all came back.
Yep.
I mean, that was actually, you know, the U.S. one stuck it too, but like the fact that the internationals came back, I thought that was interesting.
Were you guys able to discuss with Matt Warder the difference between heavy crude and the light stuff that we pull out in our?
We didn't get into that much detail.
That's next level, Strazza. I don't know that I'm ready for that. That's a lot. You got your light sweet crude, and then you got the Russian oil. Is the Russian oil any good?
No, they have the heavy stuff too.
They have the heavy stuff. Got it. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know anything about this stuff. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest.
It's not that it's not good, from what I understand. It's that, you know, the infrastructure here in the United States is built for the shale oil, right? And all the refineries, because that's really how we had our energy revolution. But the stuff that's going to be coming from Venezuela is all heavy. So Chevron and the companies that are already operating in that country are probably more ready to do what they need to with it.
Dude, we have a real Venezuelan on the team.
We do.
Like, he is like official.
Authentic. Yeah,
he's authentic. Yeah, no doubt. You know, this isn't like a fast food joint here. Like, this is the real deal, family owned here. You know.
Really though, you know, while everybody focused on energy yesterday, it wasn't the only story. I mean, did you see speculative growth stocks? Did you
financials?
Did you see the candle in regional banks and really the whole financial complex?
All-time highs in JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. How bad could things be?
Follow through in industrials from what was a great session on Friday. Materials breaking out of a really nice consolidation pattern.
Dude, I love Strazza talking materials. Look at this guy. Look at you, buddy.
Things are looking up. We have our eyes on a couple materials.
Tranny's with a nice stick there.
Well, it makes sense, right? I mean, these economy stocks.
Dude, airlines. Are you shitting me?
Yeah,
Airlines? Sitting here talking about airlines. Airlines.
I mean, these airlines came out of some sweet coils in late November, legged higher, right into more bull flags, and now they're going again. I mean, just so good.
What do you say we do a little state of the markets? Hey,
and crypto. Hey, crypto, huh? Wow.
Hey,
What's
told
going
you.
on
Hey,
there?
long Michael Saylor, short Peter Schiff, all day, baby. We told you whipsaw hunting season.
They
That's
told
why
us
we go whipsaw hunting.
They told us it would never happen.
The pep and the frog.
Wow.
The squirrel, Peanut.
Yes.
Shot Peanut. Strazza shouting up Peanut the squirrel. Like, what kind of? Where are we on the cycle?
But really, drone stocks, quantum, it's all working. We're back, baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with what's important. We've got Dog with Hat up 21% this morning. We got the Dow futures doing 0.0% this morning, 49,200. S&P 500 futures also 0.0, 69.45. NASDAQ 100 futures up about 20 basis points. That's 25,620 for the NASDAQ 100 futures. 30-year bond futures 0.0, doing nothing. Crude oil, and they're at 115.5 or so. Crude oil up about 0.5%, 58.5. Copper up another 0.5%, $6 for copper. That's right. I did not stutter. You heard that right. That is copper at $6. Never seen it ever in my entire life. Wow. Gold 44.70 up 0.5%. Silver up another 2%, 78 for silver. Holy cow. With the VIX still at 15. How is that even possible? VIX? All right, so we got the BTC making moves, crypto mooning. 93,650 flat on the day. You got Ethereum 3230, pretty much flat on the day. Solana 138, up 2/3%. Total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, hitting new multi-month highs here at 3.17 trillion. When do we see 4? When are we back at 4? Soon, right?
Daniel says he's exiting all BTC and crypto today. Done with this. Whoa.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
I'm just getting going. I got cash to put to work. LFG is what the kids say. LFG. That's what they say, Strazza. Did you know that?
Probably going to buy crude oil tonight. Look, if there's a lesson in yesterday, everybody was drawing conclusions about the intraday action before the day even ever began.
I was asking questions. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was rooting in one direction because I'm selfish and I'm trying to make money.
You were poking the bear. But
playing devil's advocate. No?
Energy better intraday than it first appeared. It didn't appear as anything when we were on the show talking about it. The bell hadn't rung yet. So
yeah.
Come on now.
They stuck it. Now they got to stick the landing for the week. Let's see it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm getting more interested in other groups. And I mean, these cryptos, what do you think the play is? Because some of them, frankly, have already mooned over the short term. I don't think you'd jump into like a Ripple here or a Bonk or something that went wild. Yeah, you could add exposure depending on your time frame. But you look at something like Solana, it hasn't had a ripper move yet. Ethereum hasn't had it yet. Bitcoin, not there yet, right? So I think maybe that momentum flows over to the big boys soon, and you get some big moves in the coming days.
Yeah, for sure. Can you throw up slide 2? I mean, this is the story that I'm very focused on because it's what I do, but nobody else seems to be. This is more selfish to me. Give me a little slide 2 action there, fellas. There it is.
Ooh.
Like, we don't have bull markets without financials, guys. And, other than Berkshire Hathaway isn't a bank. They're just a massively underperforming, huge component of financials. Just for some reason decided to raise a ton of cash in the middle of a raging bull market. So Berkshire Hathaway, massive underperformer. But looking at the banks specifically, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs making new all-time highs is not indicative of a weakening market with weakening market breadth. Remember these people telling me the market breadth was weakening? Oh, we even had like smart friends on the show coming in telling us market breadth was weakening. I told them they were crazy.
Market breadth was weakening, and then
you should listen to the guests. Smart guys. Yeah, all right.
market breadth was weakening, and
Yeah,
some of the
sure.
brightest
All right.
technicians in the world came on
Yeah.
and explained that to you. You denied it for a couple months,
Yeah,
and then
sure.
it started improving,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
act
yeah. That's
like it
exactly
never
what
weakened.
happened. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Okay.
what happened.
All right, sure. All right. You could
You
remember
how you
however you
roll.
want to remember it. I remember
Hey,
exactly what was happening because I was busy counting, so I could.
the way you folks remember things is funny sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here's a good one. This one's for you. Throw up slide 3. Throw up slide 3. There it is. There it is. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop. This is the one. This is the one.
Yeah.
Tell me this is not the one.
I want the banks, all the banks. Low liquidity in the options chains for a lot of these regional banks, but you can find areas, you can find places to go. I did.
Do you
Yeah.
use your Donald Trump voice more on the west coast of Florida or more in the Keys, you think?
I was probably using it more in the Keys. I've gotten
Like
away
all
from
the,
it.
all the banks. I walked in, I said, look at all the banks.
I don't do his voice as much as like I do his attitude, it's kind of funny to me. But I've gotten away from it. Maybe we'll bring it back. I don't know.
Tell me that there is a more important chart out there. I mean, there's probably some more important charts out there, but tell me this isn't at least top 5 most important charts out there because the implications of this resolving in the direction of the underlying trend, which would be perfectly normal, would be
Super bullish. I it's hard to find more risk on groups than the chart you're showing right here.
yeah.
And if you think about what these other value indexes are doing, we just talked about industrial sticking the landing, materials breaking out. Value indexes are also breaking out to new highs ahead of the growth indexes, mind you. Wouldn't small cap financials fit in to that kind of action? Wouldn't that make sense to see this one break out too? I think so. Transports,
Indian banks, right? You got Indian banks making moves, European banks. What is a more, this is a good question. What is a more vulnerable group to a market crash? European banks, US regional banks, or are they equal?
Indian banks look like garbage still. They're making moves to the downside. I wouldn't throw them in this group. They're the growthy banks. I don't know. I don't know about Indian banks, but I think the traditional banks, and especially ones with more lending, more exposure to lending here, you're starting to see the regionals pick it up.
All right. So then, this I have conceded
What?
that this one right here is the most important industry group.
Yeah, semis.
In the United States. Slide 4, please.
Semiconductors.
Most important industry group. So it's not the most important sector, right? Remember that this is a subsector. It's an industry group within technology.
Oh, yeah.
Closed yesterday at an all-time high, sir.
Love to see it. What are you doing, software? I think software is going to bounce back and scream higher in a big way.
Doesn't it have to?
Yeah, it has to.
If tech is going to go, you think software is going to break down to new lows?
Did you know that a lot of software indexes were actually down last year with semiconductors up 40, 50%?
Wow, is that true? Semiconductors are 14.5% of the S&P 500. What's NVIDIA? Half that?
Well, software is about 14% too. They're equally important and equally large. Software's close to the same weighting.
Not as much.
Historically, it's been more or less. It's been back and forth between who's the biggest there.
So looking at the S&P 500's top holdings, NVIDIA is 7.3%, Broadcom is 3.2%. So just those two alone is 10.5% of the S&P 500. So you mix in all the others, what's the number? 14.5? Yeah, that makes sense. Just those two are 10.5 though. So all the semis combined together in the S&P 500 outside of those two represent 4%, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I like what you said. I think software has to work. I think it would be crazy for them not to work, especially after the year they just had. They just had a terrible year.
They can't be breaking down. They don't have to be like leaders or anything, but they can't be going down. So this has to be a higher low off the November lows.
This is what happens. Like we've seen this so many times this cycle already, where somebody tells a ridiculous story and then this narrative gets pushed about how some group of stocks or one individual stock missed it or is getting killed by AI, right? So lately it's been, oh, you want the hardware, not the software. Software is dead. AI is killing it. Probably not. You know, Microsoft and ServiceNow and Salesforce are probably more than fine. For some reason, people don't want them right now. Maybe they're doing better things in the market, but these stocks will be back.
So you got Adobe, Salesforce. What else?
My favorites are Adobe, Salesforce. Adobe looks terrible. Adobe, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Microsoft.
What about some of these Israeli?
And I'll give you a little spice because
What about
sometimes
the
spice
Israeli
is nice.
ones?
Hold on, forget the Israeli ones. How about the worst US ones? The Trade Desk, TTD, the single worst stock in the S&P 500 last year. Look it's digging in here. It was up what, 5-6% yesterday? Huge candle.
Dude,
Yeah,
if that gets back
6.5%.
above those 22 lows, ooh,
I'm in. Let's go. That's not a top. And this is another one that's going to bounce back and bounce back hard. I think a lot of these software stocks, if you can stomach it, you're going to get great entries, great longer term entries here, because a lot of them are just frankly on sale.
Man, this Trade Desk, man, this thing,
I love it. Right?
This thing has
So
oops
good.
written all over it.
This was like a top stock back in the day.
Well, it hit new all-time highs at the end of 24. Here, do you guys want to throw this up? Throw up slide 2. So this one coming from the software sector. If I'm not mistaken, when you drive from San Francisco to anybody in the Bay Area can confirm this. When you drive from San Francisco up towards Sonoma and Napa, like just as you're crossing over the Golden Gate, you pass Sausalito. Isn't the Trade Desk office right there? Am I wrong? Am I just losing my mind? There's a company that's right there. I'm pretty sure it's Trade Desk. And you can see it like on the highway.
I've done that drive.
So is that, do you remember seeing it? It's on the right side when you're heading up towards Napa. No,
I don't remember.
I mean, I made that drive a zillion times when I lived out there. Check out this chart. Is that what this is? This is what you're saying.
Yeah, man. That's it. That's all it is. That's the bet you're making. Big squeeze.
You're making a bet that this is a massive failed breakdown and it is ready to absolutely squeeze higher.
Calls are liquid. Get involved.
Yeah, what's the market cap on this?
Used to be big. It's large. It's S&P 500 stock. I don't know.
I'll tell you right now.
Ain't small.
So this is Trade Desk is 20 billion.
Wow, tiny. Little baby.
What do you say we bring out what about Fonz? We've got boots on the ground. We got a real life Venezuelan to tell us what is going on. Tell us, gringos, what is the story?
Oh my God, it's going to be so controversial.
Think about it. You're such a gringo that I'm a gringo compared to Alfonso. Right?
Yeah, that's true. It's true because it's all relative.
Everything's relative. Right. Yeah. On the scale of green.
Hey,
Fonz, am I gringo?
All of you are gringos.
You could be honest. I'm a gringo too.
You're less gringo than the other guys.
Right.
For sure.
But you blend right in, JC. Don't get confused.
No.
Right in with the rest of us.
For Cubans, gringo's not a negative connotation. It's a neutral connotation. It is what it is. Yeah. Right? You agree?
Same for us.
Same for you guys. I think Brian Shannon once told me that the Mexicans told them that they use it offensively. I don't believe that. I think Brian Shannon's confused.
Yeah, I don't believe it either.
Yeah, because Brian Shannon is super gringo. So, right, he's more gringo than Strazza.
Dawson says Adobe could lose 90% of its value over the next 10 years. Why do you say crazy things like that? I'm going to buy more today. Thank you.
Wow. Fading Dawson.
This is sentiment. This is where sentiment comes out at extremes, right? The stock's already been crushed, hasn't participated at all in the bull market. Now we're going to say it's going to be down another 90% over the next 10. This is fucking Adobe. I use it every day. So you're probably wrong. Alfonso, you said to me on the phone the other day that this was one of the greatest days in the history of Venezuela. Explain to me what you meant by that and why.
Well, I mean, Venezuela has been under deep socialism and communism for almost 26 years, with expropriations of multiple companies, unfair elections over the years, political imprisonments, and deep and widespread corruption under these 25 years. So yeah, I mean, I think this could be just the beginning of something new. Um, there is a lot of uncertainty for what it's coming next in the next days and weeks. Everyone is expecting, more news around this, extraction from Maduro and all of these guys. So yeah, we will see what happens.
So there's likely to be like another maybe smaller scale operation to get some of the other like government folks that were with Maduro out.
Well, I think Trump, and the administration spoke very clear. I mean, if they don't do what they want them to do, I think they will act. And they just showed, on Saturday morning that they will do everything that it takes to, have some control and do what is best, not only for Venezuela but also for for the American people at the end.
So your parents are in Caracas, and they can more or less saw it going down out their windows.
Yeah, so let me explain what happened there. So there were some bombings, but they were very specific targets, right? Like small airports, telecom bases. Like the city itself was not affected at all.
Right.
So I know it was very stressful. People told me that they could hear the planes, the helicopters, windows were shaking, of course, because of the bombings.
Right.
But yeah, it was fast. It was a long day, but it was a very quick and fast operation that we saw there.
Yeah, incredible, really. So that's great. I guess that's great news. Got to see what happens, how this all shakes out. What are people like talking about in terms of like next steps?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, again, there is a lot of uncertainty. I think this just could be the beginning. Let's see how both ends react in the coming days.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will see. We will see what happens.
And I know that all that's fantastic news, but you like this for other reasons because of your and our exposure to oil and gas and the energy sector.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, look, we discussed that the other day. So just to put people into context, throw up slide number 8. So, energy, Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserve in the world. This oil comes mostly from the Orinoco Belt, which produce most of this oil. It's like heavy crude, as you explained earlier today, which is a little bit more expensive and difficult to produce. So the country has always relied on foreign companies, especially from the US,
Right.
that have the right technology, right? So, for example, in the past, companies like ExxonMobil, ConocoPhillips, Chevron, SLB, they were operating there, and most of them left the country because they got like expropriation of the fields and some sanctions. And the only one that's still operating there is Chevron. It's the only main player there.
I heard Schlumberger is there also yesterday. I don't know if that's true or not. I heard Schlumberger is big there as well, apparently.
Look, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that, but I know for a fact that Chevron is, and it's like the main player right now. They might have some, offices there, some people there for maybe Exxon and SLB, but very limited operations so far.
Wow. So, and this wasn't even that long ago, if you think about it, that they were the number 1 oil exporter in the world. What, late 90s, really? Right?
Yeah, late 90s, and exactly, late 90s.
Wow. Yep. So it will be some sort of money grab for the oil companies, because that's just how these things work. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Somebody's got to go there and do this stuff and get the oil out of the ground. And yeah, they're going to get paid for it. So all the negative people in the chat, important to understand that money does rule the world, right? So obviously, there are implications when something like this happens.
Yeah, look, it can go worse at this point. And another important aspect.
So you like what Matt said yesterday? It went from really bad to less bad, right? It's moving. It stopped going down.
Exactly. You have to stop going
Trend
down
reversal.
before going up, right? So, and this is a very big drawdown, basically. So it will take time to, for that damage to repair. Just think about, that a potential random button formation that eventually will result higher in a few years. I think that's the best way to explain it. And before I leave, it's not only crude oil, right? Venezuela also holds, the largest thing reserve of gold in Latin America. So if you can drop that chart, slide number 9, you will see what is going on there. So yeah, so in the past, international gold miners company similar to the oil ones were expropriated. And yeah, I think now if we ended up seeing a true change there in the country, I think there will be a lot of opportunities, and a lot of these companies that left many years ago will benefit a lot. So,
it's amazing, really, that this happened to a country like Venezuela. That really, like, when we talk about it in this way, they have all of the right pieces to be a very wealthy and prosperous nation. And this is one of the maybe the single most natural resource rich country in the world. So, like, everything's there to fix this. This sort of situation could be fixed a whole hell of a lot easier than a lot of other places. So this is what an amazing setup. And then even geographically speaking, like where it's located, I think that makes a lot of sense too, and can help in this transition. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out in the coming months and really years.
Can we throw up a slide here? Let me just. I wanted to talk about what other types of companies are going to benefit from this, because I don't know if you saw, but Tecrium yesterday filed for the Venezuela ETF. If you can throw up slide 2.
We don't even have a ticker yet. The Caracas exchange was up.
It doesn't have a ticker symbol yet, but it's effective. Hold on, it's effective March 23rd of 2026, right? And it doesn't have a ticker symbol yet. The ticker symbol does not matter. And also, it tracks the Market Vectors Venezuela Exposure Index, which is composed of stocks of companies that are Venezuelan companies, as per Market Vectors. At least 50% of revenue from goods and services sold in Venezuela, have at least 50% of assets in Venezuela, account for at least 5% of Venezuela's imports in the previous year, or are top 5 industrials involved in exporting goods and services. So industrials, are there any banks? What's the story there, Fonz?
With the banks, for example, or other companies?
Yeah, I mean, when I think about Latin America, emerging markets in general, and things like that, I don't know if Venezuela would be emerging or frontier. Probably frontier, right?
Yeah, this one frontier.
Yeah, but nevertheless, banks are big percentages of all of those countries, right? Because they have to be. There's not. They don't have massive social media conglomerates, right? Like the banks are important in all those countries. So I imagine there's going to be some bank exposure into this ETF. And would you buy this ETF when it launches, or is that the top?
Definitely not. I don't think it's the top.
Probably not the top.
Just getting started.
Probably not the top. So yeah, I mean, it will be interesting.
What percentage of oil and gas is going to be that index? A third?
At least.
No, I think even more.
Wow.
It could be even more.
Do you track like the Caracas exchange?
Not really.
That's not something people talk about?
Dude, think about it like that. If I don't track it and he doesn't track it, then nobody should track it.
No.
Because I track everything.
But I'm just trying to get a read on like what's in there. This thing was up like 50% yesterday.
Yeah.
Holy
But it's an index. You can't trade it, right? You could trade the bonds is the only thing you could trade, right?
Yeah, which were up. It has been going up. So
yeah, long Venezuelan bonds, short American bonds. That's the trade.
I wouldn't even know how to buy them.
You got to buy them like actual bonds, like on the old school thing. What's it called?
Can you do that with Interactive?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
You don't trade actual bonds. You trade bond ETFs.
No,
if you
I've never.
bonds.
No, I've never. I've traded bond futures, but I've never like bought a bond. But it sounds cool. Like they say things like par, and they have all these cool words like yield to maturity, or they call it like YTM. It's like they have their own language. These bond people. It's really neat. Yeah. It's amazing how something that is so clearly a net positive for everyone involved, and most importantly, the people of Venezuela, it still has these confused Americans just talking shit about it. I think people are just angry. This is a situation where people are clearly going to be better off.
Who's angry?
Yeah, it's just nasty. It's too bad. It's too bad.
Hold on. Who is this bad for, out of curiosity, Alfonso? I mean, you're obviously Venezuelan, but who is this bad for? Who loses in this?
Like, I think nobody is here. Yeah, I mean, China or maybe Russia, even Cuba, because, now a lot of people, are worried about Venezuelan oil, but they haven't been worried about, the Venezuelan oil over the past 26 years.
The only people it's bad for, it's because of competition.
Yeah, right.
It's not necessarily bad. It's just competitive. There's nothing wrong. That's not a bad thing. They might not see it that way. Like if Miami loses on Thursday, that'll be a bummer. Like they don't have the right to win. They actually have to go in there and win. There's actual competition. So I'll be bummed out, but that's just the way the world works, right?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's also like global security. There's also the situation that Venezuela was so broken that they were being taken advantage of by other communist nations with bad intent, right? That was becoming a problem, probably only become more of a problem in the future. So there's a national security thing here as well.
Let me ask you this, Fonz. Mercado Libre up a ton. Shout out to Rick in the chat. Mercado Libre up a ton. I know the Venezuelans that I know in Miami, they're always spending a ton of money. Like I know some rich Venezuelans that just crush it and they party. And I've partied with Venezuelans in Hong Kong and Singapore. Like, so is that just my experience with Venezuelans, or is Mercado Libre up so much because now all these Venezuelans are going to be spending a ton of money?
I think if everything goes well, Venezuela will start spending a lot of money, because in the good times, yeah, we spend.
Shout out to Daniel Rangel. Dude, that dude, we're in Hong Kong partying. He's like climbing up like into the DJ booth, like Spider-Man. Like, I'm like, dude, this guy, we're going to go to jail. We can't do it. He's climbing up into the DJ booth like Spider-Man. Dude, Venezuelan dude. He's the man. Shout out, Daniel.
Comment in the chat says 40% of the cars sold in Vietnam are EV. I've been to Vietnam, and I highly doubt that, because I didn't see a single EV. And I'll tell you, I've never been to another place in the world where you walk around and get a headache from all of the gasoline. I mean, I've never seen more gas-powered vehicles in one place at one time in my life, and there was not a single EV.
And he's not hating. He loves Vietnam. He's saying this out of love.
Loved it, but the gasoline smell is just in the air, like I've never seen before. So they need that. That sounds great for Vietnam.
All right, we got to hop. Fonz, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right,
thank you, Fonz. Appreciate the caller.
Let's bring Kenny on real fast, and then we got Todd in the house.
Kenny.
Yeah,
we have like specialists in all different areas. Like we could go anywhere on the show. We could. What can't we talk about? There's nothing we can't talk about.
We could do whatever we want.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Kenny Glick, how you feeling, sir?
Not so well, but all right. How you doing?
Are you actually sick, or are you just still disappointed about those Georgia Bulldogs?
Yes, all of it. Yeah, I have not been this sick in, I don't know, a decade. Yeah, my wife's dying in the other room. Yeah, luckily my kids have been spared. So yeah, I don't know. This is some bizarre flu, because I'm like,
it is.
Dude.
I'm freezing, but I don't have a fever. I have everything else. I feel like I got kicked in the ribs about 20 times. Also, that's the worst part.
All right. Well, we'll be brief. Give us a name or two you're watching today.
Well, I'm big. Well, right now trading the rare earths and the nuclear. Start the year off pretty good. So I'm in some USAR right now and SMR. We were just talking about silver. Still loving my silver trade, but what I'm looking for is maybe I'm crazy, but I want to see if this market has some sellers. There was some bizarre action on Friday. I know I was hallucinating. I had a terrible trade. I literally hallucinated. I had bought something. I thought I sold it and actually bought more of it. But there was a bizarre transition on Friday where the money was just pouring out of the queues, but everything else was going up. So I just want to see if there's a little bit more of that, So I'm looking to short the queues possibly today, but you gotta break yesterday's lows. And then, I'm going to stay focused on these, the drone stocks also. And by the way, you guys know about Jedi and DRNZ? Big fan. These two ETFs, look what's inside them. JEDI and DRNZ.
DRNZ new highs yesterday. That is the Rex Shares drone ETF, in case anybody needs more drone exposure.
Yes.
Got to be very international, I'd imagine, right?
Yes. I am liking what's inside there.
What happened in Never China?
What?
What happened in Never China? Never China, unless it's convenient.
There's Chinese stocks in there?
Probably. DRNZ? Yeah. I mean, isn't China like dominating the drone business?
It's basically ONDS, EH, AVAV, UAPS, UMAC, So that's where I'm focusing my attention. And today we're the mantra of make a day's pay and go away. That's where we're at today. So I'm gonna just try to make some coin and then probably go back to sleep.
All right.
All right. I respect that.
Yeah. So what's this? I heard we're having a cool event Friday, Saturday, right? Tell me more.
We are, and I hear you'll be there provided you're alive. But
yes,
tell us, Spencer.
Chart Summit 2026 is making. I guess Chart Summit is making its grand return. The link is, if you're watching on YouTube, the link is at the very top of the description. I will put the link on the screen and in chat right now. There it is on the screen. Free event, free virtual conference, a little bit on Friday. Kenny will be there Friday. JC will be there Friday. And then all day Saturday, right? We got like 16 speakers lined up on Saturday. So, and Kenny will be there again. And JC will be there again, right? So a lot going on. Totally free event. Take your portfolio to the next level and learn the wisdom of charts and VWAP and everything that our speakers have to offer. It's all going to be there. It's all going to be recorded too. So if you miss part of it, that's okay. It'll be recorded. It'll be sent to you. You just got to register. That's the catch. The link is on the screen. The link is in the description, and I will throw it in the chat right now.
Very cool. You know what? What I'm going to be doing is basically it's going to be a prelude to the Vegas show. So if anybody is coming to Vegas, the Vegas trip's taking on a little life of its own. I'm going to be doing a 2-night stay in Vegas at the end of February. We'll be doing a VWAP kind of symposium. It's going to be a lot of fun. And considering I don't know if I'm going to be drinking or smoking until then, so I'll save up.
This is the start of your residency? Is that what this is?
Yes.
This is the Kenny residency. Cool. Awesome. Yes. All right.
Well, it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys I'll see you guys Friday night if I don't see you then.
All right. We'll see you Friday, Kenny.
Adios. Feel better.
Stay healthy. Thank you, bro.
All right.
Dude, I'm so happy Chart Summit's coming back. I mean,
it's been over 2 years.
Dude, this is one of the greatest things that we ever did. And you know what it was? I was doing some online conference and I'm sitting around, I'm ready for my presentation. I'm listening to some of these other, people. And I'm like, this is back in 2018. And I'm listening to these other people or 2017, 2018. And I'm listening to these other people and I'm like, these people suck. I'm like, my friends are way smarter than these people. We should just do this, but actually have intelligent people presenting. True story. And that was the beginning of Chart Summit. And I just called a bunch of my friends. I was like, hey, why don't you come present? You don't even need to leave your house. It's online. It's great. And, it turned into something so beautiful. We're incredibly blessed to have really, really smart friends who are really good at this, as you can see, Todd Sohn being one of them.
It's not only smart people, it's smart people who are also really good at presenting and speaking and public speaking. That's the
they have the experience.
That's the other half of the battle, right? Is you're not going to fall asleep watching any of these people because they're all good at what they do. It's not just what they say, it's how they say it. So you will not just be educated, you will be entertained. Everyone knows what they're doing. And Todd Sohn is going to be there, isn't he? Right? Todd, you're there. Where's my schedule?
Todd Sohn, been a guest at Chart Summit before. Not new to this at all. One of the best in the business. What do you say we bring him out?
Yeah, let's do it, Todd. Is Todd here? Todd's here. Okay, cool.
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Todd Sohn, sir.
Hey, what's up?
Is it time for energy or is it not?
Man, I think it is. I think you should have some, maybe not a ridiculous amount, but I do think it makes sense right now to have some energy on.
Tell me about the ETF flows. Happy New Year. I love you. I miss you. All that good stuff.
We're beyond that.
Yeah. Let's get to business. We got a lot to cover here.
It's January 6th.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a whole year already in 3 days, so
that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Pepe the Frog's 75% in a couple days. I mean, what are we doing here? So from a flow perspective, from a positioning standpoint, I look at the futures market and I see crude oil, asset managers historically net short crude oil futures. I see like XOP, which is explorers and producers, oil services, XLE, all these things near record highs and short interest. I see the weightings in the S&P 500 for energy at 0 and the NASDAQ at 0 and the Dow at 0. There's nothing. They kicked out ExxonMobil. Don't worry about it. That it tripled after that. Just nothing. So, I mean, could it be any less? Right? Like, I mean, it's only one way to go from here. Am I wrong?
You summed it up pretty well there. And when you look at the ETF flows, they reflect the similar idea there, right? The temperature on energy is icy cold, I would say. Since ChatGPT came out, energy and healthcare have had the most outflows from out of the sectors. Since the inflation peaked a few years ago, you've had massive outflows from energy. Right? People have given up on the sector. And so I think when stuff like that happens, and then you start to look around for like, okay, what's been range bound and maybe is just timely, that's where energy makes sense. The risk is the opportunity cost of the waiting game, right? Waiting for Exxon to break out, waiting for XLE to break out. But I think if you have no energy, I would consider at least adding some energy, and that's going to depend on what your portfolio is and whatnot, right? Your tolerance. But I like the idea of looking for it, especially in a world where everyone overowns AI and growth. I think that makes a lot of sense.
So all these flows into these ETFs that you're showing here, none of that's going into energy?
Tiny amounts. Tiny amounts.
Because I got a sector chart there. Because they're passive flows and energy represents just a small portion. Is that why?
Yeah, I mean, energy's what, 2.78% of the S&P right now? Got up to 5 back in 2020, 2021.
0 in the NASDAQ.
Yeah, who's listed on the NASDAQ? By the way, wait, I don't want to deter you.
0.4, so somebody's in there.
I got to make a point to you. All right, not that I want to take away from the energy. By the way, first we'll do the energy chart, and then I got to make this point to you, which I think you'll like.
All right.
But here's energy's rolling 1 year sum of flows, just totally dormant. And on the bottom panel there, the third panel, what I think is interesting is energy's gone from this high beta sector back when oil was a big thing in the 2000s and early 2010s to now it's a low vol sector.
Yeah.
If you're looking, so the other low vol sectors that are out there, staples, they stink, right? Utes, a little more thematic. Some
high beta is making all-time highs relative to low volatility. That makes sense in a healthy market environment.
Of course, but I think if you're just looking for something alternative, you look at energy. That's where it fits in here. Something to water down that high beta.
Dude, you're talking our book here. Strazza is very excited about what you're saying.
Yeah, and I asked the question: can you get over the hump? I think it makes sense to have some exposure, whether it's long or via long calls, right? If you don't want to risk too much capital, you go.
Hold on, Todd. Are you saying that energy is going to be the best performing sector this year?
Ooh, you could talk me into it.
Is that what you're saying?
I could be enticed, especially because oil. Is oil trying to dig in here? Maybe. I don't know. It's been a mess. It's been an absolute mess.
Dude, the positioning's off the charts right now, man.
Yeah, as you said in the beginning, like there's a lot of breadcrumbs here that kind of add up for a really nice move for that sector.
Gold, copper already went. Copper's at 6, dude. Copper's at 6.
Palladium, platinum. All the industrial metals are working. So maybe does this start to translate to oil? We'll see.
I mean, usually, you know, gold leads, and then you get the base metals, and then you get energy. So does it make too much sense? Seems like it makes too much sense. Could it be this easy?
I think it adds up very nicely.
It adds up,
Now,
doesn't it?
now wait. So wait, you mentioned the Nasdaq.
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out there to you because I know you're a big NYSE composite guy, right?
How can I not be? You know, I keep it real.
Let me ask you, and if you don't know, you don't know. It's fine. I don't think anyone knows this. Can you name the 3 largest stocks on the NYSE composite today? I don't even know if I can.
You know, I actually looked it up not too long ago.
I say this because Walmart transferred to the Nasdaq.
Yeah.
This interesting thing going on.
There's some international leadership there for sure.
I don't actually know the answer. I think it's like Eli Lilly and Berkshire.
There's some. Yeah, that's probably because they're bigger than any of those international companies. There's
It's just interesting to me that everything is moving to the Nasdaq, and you know, there's the NYSE composite, which we thought of as one of the important indices out there, and it's kind of losing all these mega cap influencers in a sense. You know what I mean? It's kind of,
I mean,
inside baseball.
I'll tell you right now. So on the New York Stock Exchange, you remember you have a lot of international exposure. Largest companies, Taiwan Semi, right?
Okay.
Berkshire and Eli Lilly. Then JP Morgan, Visa, Oracle, Exxon is 8. Yep. MasterCard, Johnson Johnson. Yeah, so Taiwan Semi. So an international, so the largest company on the New York Stock Exchange is not even an American company.
Yeah.
You've got some big ADRs.
It's a weird
huge
twist.
ADRs.
That is a very strange twist. But I think that's just something to throw out there. Like, you know, if you're looking at the NYSE composite, it's losing all those big names out there. Anyway,
the largest,
regardless.
So listen to this. So the largest non-US companies, Taiwan Semi, 1.7 trillion. You got Alibaba, 350, HSBC, under 300, Toyota, 280, SAP, 280, Novartis, 260. Then you got Royal Bank of Canada, Shell, Novo Nordisk, Mitsubishi Financial, Banco Santander, HDFC, Toronto Dominion, etc.
It's a good question to ask people, though.
Yeah.
I bet
Taiwan Semi.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
That's the largest component in the New York Stock Exchange.
You know, it intrigued me once Walmart said, we're going to move to the NASDAQ because that's what the cool kids do.
I love the old stories about how they used to save M on the New York Stock Exchange, hoping Microsoft would one day come over. What's his name? Dick Grasso? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Dick Grasso. And he would always call Bill Gates, be like, we got that M waiting for you. And Bill Gates apparently, allegedly, was just always loyal to the NASDAQ because that's where they went public. So that was kind of his thing. And then ultimately they gave it to Macy's. That worked out great.
Wow. Yeah. Great parade.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been watching it over the last several years now that I have kids. It's actually, it's pretty good. Yeah, they do a nice job. Yeah. All right. Better than the Christmas Day parade, I think. I think the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, much better. I'd love to go one day. But you gotta be in an office overlooking. You gotta be inside. So you got like the booze and the food.
Yeah, I don't mess with that.
You can't be out in the cold.
I'm more of a Halloween East Village parade guy.
Oh yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. Is that kid friendly though? Definitely not.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Too much nudity. I mean, you know, not for us, too much nudity. Just right, you know, I think is what it is. But nevertheless, Todd, healthcare, best performing sector this year?
It was up there last year. Made a good run in the last quarter.
Yeah.
I still like it. I still think it actually pairs off with the energy case. They're completely different assets, but similar backdrop, I think, in terms of positioning, and that folks have been away from it. It's been ignored, and it's another route to water down what I think is way too much exposure to large cap growth in AI. I mean, you look at some of these longer term charts like Gilead. I think Gilead peaked 5 years ago. Am I correct about that? Gilead, Medtronic, Abbott. There's another one I'm thinking of. I cannot remember off the top of my head right now, but like this is a good improving sector. Biotech.
Right. Biotech has no impact on those large caps. You know, they're mostly small caps, but you know, does it speak to the risk on aspect of healthcare in general? I think it does.
Yeah. And like, do I think it could pause here? It got really extended. Yeah. But I just look at these sectors that have been off the field for so long, and that there's so much opportunity there to get involved. Genomics, genomics is gonna be the real risk on.
Yeah,
But there's some interesting
that's
stuff
like in
there
that
too.
biotech space.
Yeah, it's the next level.
Here, let's
Next.
step up. Let's step up to these large caps, right? You're talking about all this AI explosion,
Okay.
everything like that. The defensives look terrible. They look, the worst. Semiconductors, new all-time highs yesterday. Talk to me about what this means to you here.
So I think this chart's important. You have 10 stocks, 40% of the index. Defensive sectors are at a 35-year low. This is not about participation and breadth, because that's fine. We know that, especially globally, right? There's not a participation issue. This is more about how much of how much of these stocks do you own, perhaps by accident? Because if you own growth, you own the S&P, you own AI, you have a lot of these stocks here. And so it makes sense to me, especially if they're going to give up some leadership there, that you're going to have this confrontation with concentration. And this is why you're going to want to look at healthcare, energy, Japan, metals and mining, stuff like that. This is a big structural question, is what comes next on this chart for the 10 largest weights, 50% or 30%? I don't know the answer. Part of me thinks lower, but who knows? But that's clearly going to have implications.
Why part of you thinks lower? Like, just because it's too extended? Because, I mean, when you look at the concentration of the top 10 stocks everywhere else around the world, the United States isn't very concentrated at all. But is that a fair comparison or not?
My only issue with that is how much assets are tracking each of those markets.
Yeah.
US is far and away where all the money is. Like, okay,
now,
Italy
right.
has
I agree with all of that. Are
Yeah.
you just making excuses though?
Maybe. It's
I
fair.
wonder. I don't have the answer. These are the things that I think about, because I'm a nerd like that.
I think that's fair. I just think a lot of people have a lot more money tied up in these names than they may realize. And it's not just the S&P. It's through all sorts of other ETFs, tech ETFs, AI ETFs, growth ETFs, factors, right? If you own quality and momentum, you got more NVIDIA and stuff like that.
Dude, if you own the All Country World Index, you're loaded up in these stocks.
You have 60% or 60, whatever that number is right now.
More, it's like 63, 64.
65, yeah, more US.
Yeah.
And so, Italy is far more concentrated than the US. But you probably have 30 cents in Italy versus $300 in the US. You know what I mean?
Dude, Italy, new 18-year highs. Shout out to Italy.
Europe is great. Europe is acting really well. European defense actually starting to come back on the
Why
field.
Why do they always telling me that Europe is a disaster and Germany's been in a recession for years? Like, what is the story there? I'm like, have you seen the stock market? Have you seen the Oslo index? I mean, what are we talking about?
You're getting a lot of industrial and financials there.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why you should be looking elsewhere. I get they're more concentrated. What I just look at is how much money is tracking the U.S. vehicles, and relative to its own history. And I think you look at it, some of those names have really slowed. Not that they're big tops to me, like Microsoft, but Microsoft's a little lethargic here. Whereas you look at just the DAX broke out today.
Yeah. One tech stock in the DAX
was SAP. It happens to be the largest too. SAP,
it happens to be the largest, but it is just one.
But you make up with it with the other stuff that's in there. The
a lot of financials, a lot of industrials.
Yeah,
and France too. France, shout out to the CAC.
So that idea that does the 10 stocks at 40% go to 50 or 30? That's gonna be big implications for what the rest of the index does.
Why can't it just stay where it is?
Oh yeah, it totally could. That's just boring to me. It totally.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's been that way, and tech has been choppy, and it's right.
Yeah, you probably have to have some sort of catalyst to ultimately set that in motion. But probably staying.
Is that going to be the bond market?
Possibly. That's the most reasonable thing.
Okay, let me ask you this, Mr. Todd Sohn. Strazza is making fun of me. I'm getting subtweeted on Twitter by Steve Strazza. Can you believe this?
The king of subtweeting.
Dude, I'm getting subtweeted
the king
by
of trolling.
Steve Strazza.
He's the king of subtweeting.
This is where my life has come to. I'm getting subtweeted by Strazza. So let me ask you this. If energy breaks out, okay, and the oil futures squeeze, which is positioned to do just that, and the XLE breaks out of this 17.5-year base, and this ExxonMobil breakout is legit, and it actually goes, Bonds are breaking down. Am I wrong?
That means rates higher. Yeah, because you're going to get inflationary pressure back.
Am I wrong?
No, I don't think so.
Strazza thinks it's what did he call it? He called it malarkey.
Malarkey. What is he? 75 years old.
He thinks he is. He actually thinks
So
he
let's
is.
see. If you get energy commodities to rally, that puts pressure on inflation, which likely means higher rates, lower bonds, and you're almost back into a scenario from a few years ago.
That's not good for tech. Am I wrong?
No, I don't. At least who knows? But I don't think it is.
What about small caps? What about small caps?
Parts of small caps, yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know where the healthcare part of that fits into that.
True.
You know what I mean? Ideally, though.
What about regionals?
Good for the
higher
regionals.
rates. Good for regionals.
I would think. That's always a weird question. We get that.
It is, right? It depends on. Right. It depends what day of the week it is.
You know, I hate when I have to start layering on variables into thoughts.
Right.
Like, okay, oil, inflation, rates, regional. Like we're talking like fourth, fifth derivative here.
Well, if I'm going to overthink the intermarket analysis with anybody, Todd, I can't think of anybody I'd rather do it than you, buddy.
But I got to listen. The chart. You see the chart I have in there of long duration? How long?
Throw the long duration stuff.
I just want to bring this visual up for the folks because I think this is interesting in light of this discussion. It's the streak of. Spencer's got to grab it. It's good old Spencer. It's been something like 1,500 days since long duration peaked.
And explain to the folks what long duration means.
Long duration is going to be treasuries with a duration of over 10 years, maturity over 10 years. Right? So
and how do you think
20-year bonds.
Yeah.
The longer the duration, the more risk, the more volatility.
Right.
But sometimes, and
not always.
Not always, higher income.
All right, throw it
that
up.
Index peaked in 2020, 2021, and that is a record, right? This chart only goes back 30 years because that's how far I get back daily data, but we've never had a correction like this, a drawdown, whatever you want to call this, in the history, right? Bonds have been up and to the right for years, meaning lower yields. And now you've spent the last few years chopping around, and if Steve's right, this thing goes back up. If oil and inflation turned its head, then this thing's going back down and we're going to make a new low and extend that drawdown. But so I don't know, I think this is
interest rates have been going up ever since they started lowering interest rates, Todd.
Yeah, well, yeah, long duration ones, right? Long duration rates. Well, then the other side of this is now
the ones that matter, because I'm not a bank, right? I'm not a bank, so I don't know why Fed fund futures matter to me.
You're also not 80 years old and collecting money market income.
Also,
right?
that.
Those are going down. We went from 5.25. Now you're down to like 375.
80 trillion are in those money markets.
8 trillion.
8 trillion.
So what's going to be interesting is what happens if there's more cuts this year. Do people start to realize, hey, after tax, I'm not getting any yield anymore. Do I start to take my money market and put it somewhere else? It's not going to go to stocks because they're completely different risk profiles unless the S&P goes down 50%. But hey, where does it go? Does it go to gold? Does it go to fixed income ETFs? Active fixed income ETFs? Maybe. That's gonna be super interesting.
I got two more questions for you, Todd. We're covering it a lot. I love you for this. When you think about 8 trillion in money markets, sounds like a lot, and it is. It's not nothing. It's $8 trillion, right? That's twice as much as the most valuable company, right? Since we're always comparing everything to NVIDIA market cap, right?
It's true.
But as a percentage of total market cap, it's really not that much.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the key twist. As a percent of the S&P, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's natural. As a percent of the bond market, it's about a quarter. That's up a lot in the last 5-6 years. So think about it.
Which bond market?
The Bloomberg bond aggregate. It's everything. Treasuries, corporates. If you took money market assets as a percent of the market cap of the Bloomberg bond ag,
got it.
It's gone from like 15 to 25% since we've started.
That's really interesting. So relative to stocks, it's tiny, but relative to bonds, which is a more comparable asset, right?
Yeah, no one looks at it this way.
No, I don't.
They always look at it as a percent of the S&P as a risk barometer, which I get it. It makes sense. It's an old school.
Can you send me that chart, Todd?
Yeah.
Send me that chart. I haven't even seen it, and that's the chart of the day. You know what I'm saying?
This is a different way to think about it. Like, what are my alternatives within my income portion of the portfolio? So that's interesting to me. And what happens to that money if we lower rates a few more times this year? We'll see.
Now, let me ask one more question, sticking
What's
with
the
the
other
bonds. TLT's got short interest off the charts, right? But
Yeah.
it's such little market capitalization and such little money tied up in those shorts as a percentage of total bond market cap, right?
Yeah.
Is it unfair to look at that short interest on the TLT and look for a potential squeeze? Because I think it's a fugazi number.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing compared to the actual bond market, right?
I don't love it. Short interest on big ETFs like that can have so many different reasons why.
Like the short interest in the SLVs was off the charts and they got squeezed like a mother.
Yeah. Like
that's different.
That's different. I think like TLT or even like S&P, it's more just maybe I'm hedging, maybe I'm doing some sort of fancy trade here. When I see it in like a random thematic fund, that's interesting to me. That's more direct targeted. I'm literally shorting this group because I think it stinks.
Like XBI. XBI had record short interest and then
XBI,
it squeezed.
You can throw ARK in there, all these thematic, more targeted exposures. When it's a big asset class, I don't know. I don't get much info out of that. I think it's interesting that there hasn't been much money going a long duration. It's all been going to cash-like stuff. So maybe that's just people throwing in the towel too. But I don't have an edge. I don't have an edge on long duration. I can tell you some extreme statistics like the streak, but we're just range bound.
Yeah, no, that's the truth. No, that's the truth. I mean, that's the answer. 10s, 30s. Nothing.
Yeah, and stocks like range bound.
And stocks like that. Nope, 100%. Your
when you
takeaway is
start to-
literally word for word my exact takeaway.
Yeah.
What about the curve? What about the curve? Bull steepener is what the kids are calling it.
Yeah, I got nothing on the curve. It's too fancy for me.
Too fancy? Even you're a fancy cat.
How steep can it get? I guess is the question. Before
I mean, a bull steepener sounds like. Listen, I'm gonna bring on Perlman. Bring on Perlman. I got a good story. Can you bring on Perlman, Todd? You got 1 minute?
I got all the time for you. But can Phil fix my back?
Bro. Bring on Perlman. I got a good one. Pearl Dog.
Dude, Todd, I'm giving you a chiropractic hug all the way from over here. I'm giving you one of these. You can hear it cracking. Now you're
irritation. Bad nerve.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? What's up, guys? Okay, so you bring me in. What's the
all right? So
story?
So we have this family tradition, right? On Sunday nights, right? Every Sunday at 6 o'clock for the entire life of my kids, and well before that, we check the market futures, see how the futures opened up. Like this is what we do, right? I mean, just standard operating procedure here in our family, and the kids know that. So like just jokingly, I'm always like, hey guys, what do you think? Red or green? Red or green? And then, my mother-in-law's there sometimes. She gets it and she's got money in the market. So like, it's just a thing. The other day, my kid, he's like, oh, it's going to be green. It's going to be red. It's going to be both. Like my kids just like say like that. And I pull up my screen and one of my kids goes, Daddy, that is green like the Incredible Hulk. Because it was like all green. I'm like, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. The Incredible Hulk market, right? All green. I mean, from a 3-year-old, brilliant. I just, as two fathers with kids, I thought you'd appreciate that.
Love it.
I love it. We're big.
You're teaching them young, bro.
Green like the Incredible Hulk. So good.
We don't know the Hulk. We know Legos. That's it.
So I got something for you about the kids too. So my son, and he's smarter than the average shoe shine boy. This kid, he's a senior, very bright kid, very mathy kid. He's got smart friends. He comes home yesterday and he says to me, Dad, you got to buy oil.
Nice.
17. I don't know. Is that a confirming indicator or a contraindicator?
No, your kids are really smart.
Very interesting.
I'm not fading your kids, dude.
I wouldn't fade my kids. I personally wouldn't. Smart kids. And here's a beautiful thing is that when a theme emerges and becomes, sort of in the meme-averse or whatever they call it, like it becomes like a thing, like it has a zeitgeist.
Meme-averse.
I like
when that happens, there is a latency. There is a period at which you can go with that. So in other words, this is not an efficient market. Efficient market hypothesis was ridiculous. And there is a a drag period where you can be right as long as you don't hesitate. So you jump right in. So when I heard him say that, I was like, this is a great point. We had a great discussion about it. But my gut is that there's a trade there on my kids' friends who are, a smart little bunch. They got their ears to the ground. But we'll see. And so I pulled out that chart. I pulled out that long-term chart. One of our guys posted it yesterday. And I pulled it out. It's got like the big bottom. They laughed at that. They love the big bottom.
Are you telling him about the Kardashian bottom?
I used the word Kardashian.
I mean,
and I just was like, look, this is a long-term chart. This thing's been going sideways. And then you got that little ascending triangle over the last, I don't know what it is, year or two.
Look at this guy.
They were all
Did
over
you
it,
say
man.
ascending triangle?
It's kind of an ascending triangle. Yeah, there's like higher lows, and you're running into that high, and you burst through that thing.
Perlman, by the way, also you are getting what is the yield? What is the yield on the XLE? 3.2%. 3.2%. Not bad.
So if you want to be long, but responsibly long energy, and you're not long enough, the S&P 500 is what percentage energy?
2.
So tiny. So what you could do is, like, let's say you dollar cost average, okay? And what you could do is, and you want to be like 10% energy instead of 2%. You could do a little math and figure out how much XLE to buy every time you buy SPY.
Yep.
And I've done that. Not that well, but I've done that like a few times over the last couple of years. I bought a little bit of XLE when I buy the SPY. Not every time, but a few times. And I got a little position. And now if this thing goes, you're just having patience, holding it for a long time, be willing to underperform,
That's great perspective, Perlman. You don't like the way the S&P is set up. You can make your own rules. This is America. Like, what are we doing? You're spot on, Pearls.
Hey, Todd, aren't there services that do that now? But you could do it on your own too, right? Aren't there applications where you can go in and take things out and put things in?
Yeah, or you just, there's ETFs like that. There's X-Tech ETFs. There's all sorts of stuff. Right. You want it, you got it.
Well, Shaughnessy's built a company that did that. And then
yeah.
Right. Okay, so I have something for you guys today. I have two things, and I'll try to make it quick because we got Strazza coming up. The best show on
the Open Bar. What is it? What a great name, Todd, isn't it? The Open Bar.
I don't really drink much anymore, but if Steve wants to, go ahead.
Next Thursday, the 15th, you'll be drinking with me.
I'll have that. I'll break out the shoes.
All right.
So I got two things for you. One thing is this: we are in, if not war, we are in global conflict. Okay, we are in a period of global conflict. And we have no idea what is happening, right? The beautiful thing about technical analysis is that we can study price. Like, that's one thing that's above ground. It's like the iceberg is 80% below the sea level. Price is one of the only things above sea level, right? Behavior is observable. But what is happening right now geopolitically? We have no idea. It doesn't matter how many followers somebody has on Twitter. It doesn't matter if they're on TV or not. It doesn't matter how smart they sound. It doesn't matter whether they know big words about war, and they studied it and they were like, studied geopolitics in college or got a master's. None of that matters. Nobody has a fucking clue. And so the best thing that you can do is ignore everything. As a matter of fact, today's Tuesday, Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning, just sign off from the Twitter, get away from it completely, and just look at price behavior. You'll be so much better off. Ignore all of it, no matter how much they say.
Music. Okay, put on some music.
Put on some fucking music, man. Music is so good. It's like nourishes the soul. White boy. Dude, who's whiter than us right here? Who's whiter?
Dude, Alfonso called me a gringo.
Dude,
I don't think I'm ever called a gringo.
Dude, that's funny.
I know.
I got to go back. I missed that segment this morning. I got to go back and watch it. I mean, we have like as good as intelligence as you're possibly going to get with Alfonso. He's from Venezuela. Like nobody you're reading from Twitter is from Venezuela. There's like 6 people. There's like, there's millions of people on Twitter. There's like 6 people, maybe 2 you're following that are from Venezuela. And one of them is Alfonso. He's going to have a better idea. He's going to be less noise than anybody else. But for the most part, everybody talking about motivations, Trump, Putin, anybody, whatever, has Iran. Nobody has a clue what they're talking about. That's one thing. Number 2, you guys are talking about how complicated the situation is. And it really is. I mean, we have all of these cross currents. You guys were talking about the yields and the 10-year and the long end and all the implications of that. It's unbelievably complicated. This dovetails with what I was saying before. When things are complicated, you just keep it simple. You just keep it simple. Price behavior tells you everything. Listen, maybe the yield, the TNX hasn't made up its mind yet. Listen,
it hasn't. I can tell you.
What's that?
It hasn't made up its mind.
It hasn't. So just don't do anything. Just sit and wait. Maybe XLE hasn't made up its mind yet, right? That thing hasn't clearly broken out of that 20-year chart, right? Exxon, but how about XLE? I mean, is that a broader thing? Is Exxon a better indicator?
I trust the bellwethers.
Right.
No, I don't know, man. I think so. We'll see.
Okay. So maybe you could be more assertive there. You're looking at the behavior. It's nice to see that actually. Haven't ever, even looked at the Exxon chart. Just look at XLE. But that one is breaking out, so you could trade accordingly. You don't have to know. You don't even have to know about Venezuela. You don't even have to know that there was an operation there. You don't even have to know about the Strait of Hormuz or Iran or Tehran or the Ayatollah or whatever they got going on over there. They got some crazy shit going on there. Whatever.
That is the one constant.
It's the one constant. Right. That stuff started with Cain and Abel. You know what I mean? That's chapter 1, verse 7 of Genesis, right? Cain and Abel, right? That's the Muslims and the Jews right there. 5,000 biblical years ago, you got Cain and Abel. It's been going on forever.
Twitter. Imagine.
It was before Twitter. Could you imagine those guys? Could you imagine Noah on Twitter? It's raining.
Dude, and then like
it's
the
raining
horses,
over here.
Like the 2 horses trolling all the other horses. Oh, you didn't make it on the ark. All the other horses got FOMO.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, so just keep it really stupid simple. Don't pay attention to anything. Zero that you're seeing or hearing because nobody has any idea what they're talking about. Hey, what do you guys think of this Bitcoin here? Do you see this Bitcoin not fading a rally
time and all the kids are trading at that thing.
The kids are trading the Bitcoin?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it's a new currency.
I think it's interesting. All of the big wirehouses are opening up allocations to it. We'll see if that gives a floor, some sort of.
How about Jamie Dimon? Jamie Dimon was hating on this thing, and now he's like, "All right, trial period over. It's real."
Yeah, it's all good.
Jesus,
So
that was fast.
that's a lot of potential allocations to keep the bid going. There's Spencer.
Spencer's
here.
I'm just hanging out. I'm just enjoying the conversation.
The party's over. Everyone get out of the house.
No, the party's just getting started. All right, the party is just getting started. Todd, you've been here for like 45 minutes. We appreciate all the time.
Todd, thanks for hanging around.
That you've given us. I do want to add to everyone that the open bar is going live in a couple of minutes. Right, Strazza is getting ready behind the scenes here, trying to figure out. Market's been open now for a few minutes, so he's trying to figure out what he's going to do. Maybe he's done some stuff already. We'll find out. But the open bar is going live. If you're watching us on YouTube, the stream will automatically redirect and send you to the open bar with Steve Strazza. If you're watching us on Twitter, the stream will be there too, or stockmarkettv.com. The stream is there as well. And Strazza is going to go live and do his thing every Tuesday after the morning show. So that's right now, basically. So thank you to, Phil. We had Todd. We had Kenny. We had Alfonso. A lot going on today, which is great. You got to love it. As a reminder, everyone, the Chart Summit starts on Friday, all day Saturday. Link in chat and description. Here, I'll throw it on the screen one more time in case you missed it. Totally free event. You have to register to get the recording, though, if you miss it. So where is my link? There's my link. Chart Summit right there, 2026. Be there. Or don't make money. That's fine, too. I don't know what to tell you. So thank you for watching. We're done. We'll be back tomorrow with Brian Lund as our guest. Thank you for watching.
Nice.
Drop us a like. Go make some money. And we'll see you on the open bar in a few minutes.
Go sign up for the Chart Summit. I'm telling you right now, you have never seen anything this good ever, and it's free. So if you don't sign up, and if you can't make it, don't worry about it. Sign up, and you'll get the videos afterwards. And
We spend more months, plural months, putting this agenda and guest list together. It takes a while, right? It takes a while. So like what did I say yesterday? 16 people, 17 people. There's a lot going on. So Chart Summit. Be there.
Trading ideas for days.
Yeah.
Yes. Go make some money. We'll see you in a few, all right? Adios.
All right. Adios.
Adios.
I can't take no